Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel, Elle's Temple. My name is Elle. I am a goddess guide and tarot reader, and today I'm so excited to be bringing you a reading that is very appropriate for Aries season, and it's all about what original path are you creating for yourself. So if you're watching this at the time of upload, we're in Aries season at the moment. And the zodiac sign Aries, for those of you that aren't aware, is very much a sign that is concerned with initiative and being like the first to do something or pioneering something, being innovative, driving something forward, really taking action on something. And so we can use that energy during this time. If you're watching this over the next month or so, even if you're drawn to this at another time, that's okay. It's still a timeless reading, but it's just if you are drawn to this at the time of upload, you can certainly really harness those Aries energies and basically channel that energy from this season, from this zodiac sign season. It goes from about the 20th of March all the way through to the 20th of April. So we're still in early April, so you've still got a few more weeks, or a couple more weeks at least, to really harness that Aries energy and use it to tap into what it is that you are being asked to manifest in the world at this time. It's a very kind of initiating energy. It starts off the zodiac calendar. The Aries is the very first sign in the zodiac calendar. So Aries kicks off the 12 zodiac signs as it goes around the year. So it's an initiating sign. It's a fire sign, so it's all about that sort of fire energy. So it's, basically a really potent time to take action on your passions or things that you have a vision that you've been sort of working on a vision to create and bring about in the world. This is the time to start taking action on it and initiating it, especially if it is an original idea. It doesn't have to be, but if it is something original, if it is something you're pioneering, if it is your own unique path, your own authentic path, then very much this time it can be especially potent for you. So without further ado, to introduce each of the piles. So if you are drawn to the gorgeous goddess Epona, and her keyword is wise leadership, this is from the Goddess Power deck. Really beautiful card. So you'll be pile number 1. The number on the card is 14. So for some of you, you might choose by the keyword or the picture or the number, whatever draws you in. Pile number 2, you'll be Goddess Gaia, Earth, and the number is 16. Beautiful Gaia. And if you are drawn to Isis Rebirth, card number 24, you'll be pile number 3. Okay, my lovelies, so take a moment to pause the video if you need to and tune into your intuition, ground your energy, just see which pile most draws you in, and I will see you in your reading. Okay, if you chose the Epona card, pile number 1, this will be your reading. So right off the bat, pile number 1, I am getting through for you guys that you are definitely cut out for being a leader in some way. Now, this doesn't have to be in a conventional sense, like being, the top of sort of a corporate company or something, though it might be. That might certainly be something that you are on track for, or something you're trying to carve out for yourself. But I feel like it's more to do with this is more to do with you being a leader in your life, like you taking the lead in some way, being standing up for yourself, speaking your truth, leading on projects, being able to have the freedom to take initiative on things that you want to create. Yeah, I'm getting because Epona is also the goddess of horses. So there's a definite freedom vibe that I'm getting for you, pile number 1. So I think maybe some of you might be entrepreneurs, or you might want to be entrepreneurs. You might want to start your own business, or you already have your own business or something like that. And you're definitely meant to be a leader. So I do see that if you have started a business, this might be something where eventually you'll grow it and you'll have employees under you, or something like that, and you'll be leading like a team, or you'll be leading a group of people. Or if not in terms of structure of your company, you'll be leading people in terms of thought and idea, because Aries has a lot to do with being being the first to like spark a new idea in people and like create something new or create a revolution. So even if you're not necessarily running a big team or something and having people reporting into you or whatever, if that's not kind of your vibe or what you want, it might be more that you're just going to be some kind of like recognized as somewhat of a thought leader. It doesn't have to be on a global scale, though it might be. It could just be within your field or within your workplace or within your industry, or within your community, even within your family. You know, it could be on a small scale. For some of you, it'll be smaller, and for others of you, it'll be more global. But there's definitely potential for a lot of leadership. People will look up to you. They will respect you. They will admire you. They will want to hear what you have to say. You have a lot of, you have the ability to lead people, essentially, pile one. You have the ability to, you know, your ideas are something that are needed in the world. Your ideas and thoughts are things that people need to hear. So you can lead people with your thoughts and your ideas and the inspiration that you get. That's kind of what I'm getting through for you, pile number one. So let's have a look at the tarot for you. So what is going on with this path that pile one is being called to create? What path is pile one creating? Whoa. Crone of Cups. So with this, I'm seeing that you're going to be, whatever this path is, it's going to be have to be something that makes you emotionally fulfilled, emotionally happy, feeling contented emotionally, feeling fulfilled emotionally. It connects with your emotions in some way. You know, I'm picking up a vibe of maybe someone being you know, you're a leader in terms of that sort of a role or something related to emotions. So it could be that you're some kind of counselor or a therapist or something like that. You have skill at being able to navigate emotional waters, and it's a skill that you're very sought out for, or you're going to be sought out for, or you're kind of going to be creating and pioneering some sort of a treatment or something related to emotional healing or finding like fulfillment or something like that. So very interesting, pile one. Let's see what else. We have some more guidance on what path, what original path is pile one creating? What original path is pile one? Yeah, strength. Wow, absolutely. I definitely pick up that you're very, very strong, pile one. You're a very strong person. You have a lot of inner strength. You've had to overcome a lot of things in your life. You've had to like kind of cultivate a lot of inner power, like tame your sort of shadow self, or not so much your shadow self, but like tame, you know, maybe say self-destructive tendencies, for example, or addictions, or unconscious drives or something, or bad habits, or whatever it might be. It'll be different for all of you, but there's just something you've had to like overcome. There's been some sort of challenges in your life where you've had to, it's forced you to cultivate a lot of strength, like a lot of strength and a lot of power. But in saying that, it's not a forceful power. You have like a very good command over yourself and over your emotions. And it's like you are able, it's like you are really strong and you're really powerful, but you're also really, it's like you have a gentle strength. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, it took me a while to get there, because I'm just getting with this particular strength card, we've got this little, it's like a little deer kind of on her knee, and also a wolf, but the wolf looks really like tame, and it's like, you know, and there's a big lion here as well. So it's kind of like you've got this sort of wild side to you, you've got this fierce, ferocious side to you, but you've also got this very like gentle, soft, receptive side to you. And in this particular strength card, she's sitting down, right? And she looks quite like at peace. Like sometimes in certain other decks, the strength card, the person's standing up, and sometimes they've got like the lion on a leash or various things like that. But in this case, it's like you're quite relaxed. You have a very beautiful, relaxed, go with the flow energy I'm getting from both of the Crone of Cups and the strength card. That's what I'm seeing for you, pile number one. Let me get one more tarot card, and then I will move on to some oracle cards for you. So can we have any more indication from the tarot, please, on What original pathway? Whoa. Knight of Swords. Wow. Yeah, this is something that you are going to take action towards. You, again, we've got the horse. We had Epona, the horse goddess, and we've got a horse, and I spoke about horses and freedom. This is something that like you have a sort of driving force to go towards, this kind of this leadership role, this path towards your freedom, this path that's going to allow you the most emotional fulfillment, allow you to feel happiest, allow you to feel free to like have sovereignty over your day, over your time, over your energy, over how much like you give to people. Because with that Crone of Cups as well, she's got this sort of cup in front of her, and it's very much like, you know, there's only so much emotional energy. You know, you've got to be in charge of filling up your own cup, right? And then like only giving as much as you're able to give. So I do see that that is something that is like you've got a lot of strength, yes, and a lot of power, but you're also very giving and very emotionally connected. And so it's kind of finding that balance, I guess, between that like yang side of like taking action towards things, but also being very connected with your intuitive, receptive, feminine side, and in touch with your energy. So making sure that your sort of masculine side, if you like, your yang side is like carving out the kind of lifestyle and the pathway so that you can stay in this energy as much as possible. You can stay in this, like you can keep your emotional self really protected, and your emotional energy, like you can see she's sort of holding the cup like close to her chest, close to her stomach, kind of like this is my spiritual energy, this is my emotional energy, like, you know, I'm guarding this sort of thing, and I will give it, you know, to those causes and those people that need it, but you know, only things that are like in alignment is kind of what I'm seeing with the Knight of Swords. So let's just get one more card, please, Spirit, for what pathway, what original pathway is pile 1? Ooh, yeah. So with this 5 of Swords, I'm seeing that like some of you might be really good at dealing with conflict, or you might be going into conflict situations. I'm hearing like conflict solution. So this could be something like in law, in like you could be a mediator, you could be a couples counselor, you could be going into war zones or places of conflict and helping relevant parties or whatever find conflict resolution. It could be something that you do. I did mention someone being, I picked up someone being like a therapist, so it could be like providing conflict resolution even for individuals, you know, or families or whatever, family systems. There's something around like being very adept at like resolving conflicts for people, creating some kind of pathway where you're able to, again, I'm picking up this with the wise leadership. It's like you're very wise and you're very strong and you're very experienced. It's like you've had to overcome a lot of things yourself, and you've gone through a lot of these conflicts or inner conflicts or turmoil or whatever it might be, or at least even if it's not the same thing, it's enough stuff, right? It's enough. You've had enough like difficult experiences in your life that you are perfectly strong enough to like deal with conflict. And again, this could be, you know, if you're in quite a conventional role where you're you know, you're wanting to be a leader in a workplace, you're able to like resolve conflict within the team, within colleagues, within, you know, the corporation or something like that, within the business. So there's definitely a lot of skill here I'm seeing with you, pile number 1. Wow, this is really incredible energy. You'll have to tell me, like, if you feel comfortable sharing, you'll have to tell me in the comments, like, what you do or what pathway you're wanting to go into, because I'm just picking up like pretty, like just really, like I said, really strong, really powerful energy. And I would love to know, like, I'm just curious. I would really love to know like what you are wanting to create. So let's get a few oracle cards to finish off with. So Spirit, can we have some cards? What original pathway is pile 1 being called to create? What original path. Ooh, that one jumped. Opportunity. Yeah, I feel like you're able to carve out. This is this nice Knight of Swords going towards, you know, opportunities, going towards the freedom, the life they want to create. You're able to carve out opportunities for yourself for sure. Yeah, I'll put that down there a little bit. Just move the camera back a wee bit. There we go. Okay. What original pathway is Pearl 1 being called to create? Courage. Wow. Yeah, this is very similar to the Strength card. The Strength card speaks a lot to do with having courage. So I definitely feel like whatever it is you're going into, part number 1, it's either going to call on a lot of courage within you or a lot of strength within you, or you already have the courage. You already have that as a natural trait within yourself. You are already a really courageous person. I'm definitely picking that up. I feel like most of you are already really courageous. I don't think it's something you necessarily recognize in yourself or you would necessarily tell other people, but I think you are. And you're definitely already a leader. You're a natural born leader. You're naturally courageous. You know, especially for those of you where I was picking up some of you wanting to go into conflict resolution, you know, potentially even war zones or places where there's a lot of conflict or something like that, whatever that might be, whether it's emotional conflict, it could be conflict internally. You know, sometimes Five of Swords can speak of like someone's internal conflict. These can be different aspects of the psyche that are like, say, self-sabotaging that person. So maybe some of you are working with people in a therapeutic setting to help them break down the parts of themselves that are causing a lot of internal anguish and conflict for themselves, which can require a lot of, you know, strength and patience and courage, right? Like, you know, that can be, you know, just as difficult as going into a battle zone. You know, it doesn't have to be like physically requiring a lot of courage, though I think you have that physical courage as well, and strength and power. It could be more emotional. It'll be different for all of you. For some of you, I'm picking up kind of almost like a fierce physical presence where there's something around like being a very strong leader and needing to like lead like a team, or you know, go sort of almost like go to battle is what I'm getting, is kind of the vibe I'm getting. But for others of you, it's a lot more like, you know, working with people's emotions, or like, you know, doing something more therapeutic, but it's still something that requires a lot of courage, especially because it might be that you are going to be a leader in that field. It might be that these ideas that you have around this type of therapy or something, you're going to put them out in the world, and you know that requires a lot of courage. I'm picking up like someone's got that kind of Brené Brown type energy, so it's like that vulnerability is strength, like, you know, being able to put your soft side on the outside and show people like who you truly are requires a lot of courage. So wow, powerful energy, Pile 1. Who are you? I want to know. This is pretty incredible. I feel kind of honored to be doing this reading for whoever it is that is coming through. I would love to hear if this is resonating. Don't forget to hit the subscribe bell, my loves, while you're watching, because it really helps my little baby channel to help grow and helps me know like what videos you're enjoying. So if you are enjoying this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. So to continue, we've got focus, and we've got another like jungle creature here with the cheetah. So we've got both a lion and I think this is a cheetah, and voyage. So yeah, so focus is like, you know, you've got, this is a very focused card as well with the Epona card, the wise leadership and focus. This is like, you know, if you stay focused, you can climb to the top of this mountain. Like you can be a leader in your field, you can be a leader of your company, you can be a leader of whatever it is that you're wanting to lead, like, you know, a thought leader. Like I said, I am picking up a vibe of someone, you know, who could be as big as someone like Brené Brown or something like that. So it is going to require a lot of focus and determination, but you definitely have that within you. And we've also got voyage. So I feel like, I mean, this could be that, you know, whatever that role is might require a lot of travel for you. So you could take this in a literal sense. But I feel like what this is saying is this is like spirit or your higher self picking you up and being like, whoop, and just kind of like moving you where you need to be in the world. It's like this big whale has got like nets, like ropes, I should say, tying the little whale, and the little whale is just like, okay, I'm kind of going with this. Like, I don't really know like what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna follow. Like, he's not struggling, he's not flailing, he's just like, you know, his arms are back, like, yeah, okay, we're going this way now. So I feel like this is going to be quite a journey for you. I feel like this path you're carving out, whatever it is going to take you on quite a journey. Spirit, if you're open to it, you know, your higher self is going to really move you to where you need to be, and move you to where your skills and your leadership and your strength and your courage is really needed in the world. So, wow, bravo, Pile 1. You guys are absolutely incredible. So let's get a couple of other cards to finish up. So we've got a guidance card from this card. So can we have a message for Pile number 1? What original path, what guidance message? Here we go. I can't control the world, but I can control how I choose to perceive it. Wow, yeah. So I feel like again, I'm getting world vibes, like global vibes. Some of you working in something that's going to be potentially global, and there may be something where I'm getting like all these eyes are on you. So like it might be that you're out in the public field, you're out, like you're very visible to people in some way, and there's an element of like needing to let go of control over how you're going to be received by those people. All you can do is like, you know, choose to perceive if there's any negativity or conflict that comes up from other people, or any like backlash is what I'm hearing. If you get backlash for these innovative ideas or whatever it is you're putting out, it's like that's just a sign of like the state that that person is in. It's nothing to do with you. So you can't control how other people are going to receive you or your work or your ideas. You can't control the world and how it's going to be taken. You can just control how you perceive that. So, and I feel like you already know that, Pile 1. I think this is kind of like preaching to the choir. I feel like you are already really strong. You already have a really strong sense of self, and you yeah, like you've overcome so much. It's like, you know who you are, you know what you want. You're not going to let like backlash, or, you know, I'm not saying you're definitely going to have backlash, but if in case there is, you know, which usually anyone who's pioneering something, right, or doing an original thing, there's a period of time where people, you know, it might attract people who aren't on that wavelength and don't want to do the emotional work, or don't want to resolve the conflicts. They just want to stay in fear, right, or whatever. And so, yeah, there's maybe something around like how you're choosing to perceive that, and staying really focused on your path, like not letting that kind of sway you. I do feel like this is a path that is going to require a lot of courage in regard to that, because you are going to be seen, you are going to be out in the world in some way. So yeah, let's have a look if there's any other guidance from this deck. Whoa, that one flew out. What was that? Okay, I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction. Yeah, you are very intuitive, I feel like, already, Pile number 1. So, you know, wherever your intuition is going to guide you, whether it's into these like conflict situations, whether it's into, you know, a new, like putting your ideas out in the world, and whatever it is, whatever field you're wanting to innovate in or put things out there or lead on, like your intuition is going to guide you there 100%. So, wow, amazing energy. I'm going to finish off your reading with a crystal mantle oracle. That one jumped, but there's 2. Let me put that back. If it's meant to come out, it will. These cards get a little bit, I have used this deck so many times, but these cards get a little bit stuck. Okay, I'm just going to take, is it this one? There's 3. Okay, I'm just going to take all 3, but I'm not going to read from the book for all 3, because there's, this book is, it's amazing. For those of you that have been following my readings for a while, you will know I sometimes use this deck, and the messages are incredible, but they're really long, so I won't read all 3. But you got all these 3 cards. So we've got card number 36, Ascended Master Mataji and Crimson Cuprite, Relief and Repair. We've got Ascended Master Buddha and Peridot, Wild Compassion. And we've got Goddess Matangi and Heliotrope, Already There Is Value. So what I'm picking up is like, I'm going to start with this one. While because you got that strength card as well, I feel like that's kind of saying it's like you already have everything that you need in order to do this thing in the world. So you're already skilled enough. You already have all the kind of soft skills, if you like all the University of Life training is what I'm hearing, which I don't really use that phrase very often. So that might be significant to you if that's something you often use. If you're like, I got that vibe that someone's like, yeah, like I don't have any training. I'm not kind of like officially certified, but like I've been knocked about by life. So I've got University of Life skills, you know, I'm like, I've got a PhD in like, you know, from like hard knock life type thing. That's the vibe I'm getting from you. I love your energy, Part 1. I could do this reading all day long. I love it. So like you, and if you felt kind of like, oh, I'm not qualified to do this thing, whatever it is, like I'm not qualified to lead people, or I'm not qualified to work in this field or something, it's like Spirit is kind of saying like, no, you have so much value already. There is so much value. Like you are meant to do this. You have everything you need. You have all the internal skills that you need to do it. We've also got wild compassion. I feel like this is kind of linked with that. This is sort of confirming on this card, the Crone of Cups, having a lot of like emotional sensitivity, being like, for those of you that are kind of quite therapeutic, you know, you have that sort of like therapy kind of vibe, or people just come to you, they're magnetized to you because you're just really like able to like master emotions in some way. It's like you've got so much compassion because of things you've been through. Like I mentioned with the strength card, it's like all those hard knock things that you've been through in your life have cultivated this huge amount of compassion, so you can really support people who are really going through it. Whether it's, like I said, some of you are maybe going into a therapy type environment, like starting your own type of therapy or counseling, or like leading a team, or going into like a war zone or something, if that's what you're feeling called to. With relief and repair, this is a lot to do with like making sure you're not burning out. So making sure that like you are taking time out to connect with your own emotions, your own intuition, your own self, looking after yourself, self-care. So especially for those of you that are in like a conflict field, or like say social work or something like that, or you want to do something like that, it's like yeah, making sure you're not getting too burnt out by that kind of like the amount of emotional energy that doing that type of work requires. That would be the main guidance that I have from that card. So I don't feel like there's anything else that I'm meant to read or say. I feel like that's all the messages for you, my lovely Pile 1. I'm going to leave your reading there. I hope that resonated for you and it gave you some reassurance or confirmation on your intuition, but always trust your own intuition. And you know, if you do feel comfortable commenting in the box below, letting me know, or letting those others know like what you're up to, if you feel comfortable doing that, you know, I would really love to hear from you. I reply to all my comments and I love hearing from you. And yeah, all the best with your journey, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you so much for being here, Pile 1. Lots of love. Bye. Hi there, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the beautiful Gaia Earth card, this will be your reading. So right off the bat, pile number 2, what I'm picking up about you and the path that you're going to create is that it's going to be something that, for some of you, I'm picking up an environmental vibe. So it's going to be something that's going to be very connected with the environment and protecting the environment, and doing something in relation to whether it's like a gardening project, for example, or a gardening initiative, or you know, like a water initiative, or a sea project related to like protecting animals of the sea, or like the ecosystem of the sea, or animals, or something related to conservation with animals, or something kind of along those lines. I feel like, yeah, you're kind of, I'm getting a like earth activism kind of vibe, but in a, not necessarily in a like, I don't mean activism so much in a really like fighting way, like in terms of doing loads of protest and I mean, it might be, but I'm not picking up so much like fighting against something. I'm picking up more like starting an initiative for something. So instead of like, say, fighting against, I don't know, big corporations and like environmental waste or something like that, it's like you're standing for something related to protecting the earth. It might be that there's a bit of overlap, of course, and it might be that there's a little bit of calling out certain organizations or things as part of that role. But it's more of a like creation energy than a like trying to fight against something. It's like you're using a lot of your energy to grow something and cultivate, you know, and kind of like be the change you want to see in the world. So maybe even like doing like a recycling initiative or in your town or something like that, if it's something that hasn't really been done very much. Or yeah, it could even be like something as simple as like, you know, going a bit off grid yourself, like just creating, you know, your own garden so that you live off your own like organic vegetables, and then maybe you end up kind of selling them or something like that, or you give them to your community in times of need. Or there's just this kind of very fertile, very abundant energy, very like you're very connected with the earth, you're very in sync with the seasons and with nature and what nature needs, and you're going to be initiating a path or pioneering a path that involves something related to the environment or the earth and this like the cycles of the earth type thing. So very interesting, pile 2. Let's get into some cards too. Whoops. Let's get into some cards too. And I just actually, that came out by mistake, but I think this is like kind of saying Four of Swords is a lot to do with healing. So, you know, this could be like sort of work that kind of heals the earth. So, you know, that could even be quite, you could be doing that on sort of an energetic level. Like, you know, you do things where you create like sit-ins is what I'm hearing, which like maybe you go to certain like ley lines or power points on the earth, and you get like lots of people together and you meditate and channel sort of healing energy down into the earth. That could be something that you're doing. Just as an example, that's kind of a vibe I picked up from someone there. So just take the bits that resonate and leave the rest. Obviously, this is a general reading and I'm picking up on a lot of different energies. So there'll be a few different variations of what this looks like, but essentially the theme, if you're drawn to this card, is kind of something around the environment, or like planting something, like bringing something into fruition, growing something. Yeah, being very... I mean, this could be, you know, this could be with fertility. This could be like your path is to be, you know, a parent or you know, a mother or whatever. It could be that that's kind of your, but you're going to do it in a way that's very maybe unconventional or different, or you're going to pioneer a certain way to do with like, say, pregnancy or midwifery or childcare or something. You know, maybe you start something related to, like, you know, you discover an issue as you're bringing up your children, and then you pioneer some kind of solution to that or something. It could be that. But let's have a look at the tarot and see what other messages we've got. So what original pathway is pile number 2 creating? Whoops. So we've got Ace of Swords and Two of Swords. So 2 swords here. Let's just get a little bit more and then I'll go into the messages. What is pile 2 creating? Ooh, High Priestess. Beautiful. What is pile 2 creating? The World. Wowza. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm getting a lot of energy from this. So let me put that one here. 2 of Swords and the World. Okay, so pile 2. Yeah, it's interesting with, I mentioned the earth, we have Gaia, the earth, and then we've literally got the world and a picture of the earth with like loads of creatures on it. It's like a picture of a globe, but it's got like loads of flowers. The energy of these 2 cards is pretty in sync, like color-wise and everything. There's a lot of greens, a lot of blues, a lot of flowers and things like that, and 2 hands kind of holding the earth. And we've got 2 hands holding this like large stomach here. Like Gaia is literally the goddess of the earth. So there's something around like you being like this kind of earth goddess, you being like like someone where the earth is like in your hands. You can just sort of you're very fertile, very abundant, very able to like tap into like earth energies and like manifest things or kind of bring things into fruition, like plant something and then nurture it and see it grow, is what I'm getting. I'm also getting with the Two of Swords and the High Priestess, you're very able to help people tap into their intuition. And actually, even with the Ace of Swords here, we've got a triangle. In this particular Ace of Swords, we've got a upward pointing triangle with like a third eye in the middle of the triangle. So you're able to like help people connect with their intuition in some way. Maybe some of you are on a spiritual path. You connect with like the vibe or the word priestess. You are on that like goddess energy path, that goddess Gaia energy, like able to connect with goddess energy, divine feminine energy, or just feminine healing earth energy, and help people connect in with their intuition, help people like find clarity for themselves. Because Two of Swords is a lot to do with like, you know, having two potential pathways to go down and then like trying to sort of shut out outside distractions and connect with your own intuition. So there's a few different things I'm picking up here, but I feel like for some of you, your original path is something related to kind of the environment, and for others of you, it's kind of something a little bit more maybe cosmic or spiritual, a little bit more like creating a space where you're able to help people connect with their intuition. So maybe you like lead meditation retreats, or you lead meditations that help people connect with intuition, or you might be a tarot reader or an astrologer or something along those lines as well. Yeah, and you just kind of help people. It's like you kind of help people shift from having like being at a crossroads, being at like a turning point, or having like different options that they're trying to figure out, and they're kind of in the dark here, and you help them sort of like not look at all the outside influences and really go within and like resolve it with that Ace of Swords. Like, you know, it's like this is you like giving them this like healing kind of brown earth energy, like you're grounding them into their intuition. You have this power, Pole 2. It's like you can ground people into their intuition so they can connect with their own intuition and make like a decision about whatever it is they need to like move forward. So yeah, that's really incredible energy. I'm going to move that over there. I feel like the colors of these three cards are really similar, and then we've got like, yeah, sorry, I'm just playing around with the colors here. It's kind of interesting. There's like this sort of earthy energy, but then this very like beautiful bluey, greeny, like you're very heart-centered, I feel like, Pole 2. Like it's very gentle energy. Whatever it is that you go into, you know, whether it is something like being a priestess, a medium for spirit, like a channeler, someone who does spiritual healing, someone who does maybe even Reiki with that particular card there with the two hands out. That's like a sort of a, you know, almost looks like a Reiki pose. So I'm picking up some of you maybe Reiki masters, or you're wanting to do Reiki for people or for the earth even. You know, I did pick up some of you doing like earth healing. You know, like doing, like I said, like sit-ins, or like getting groups of people and you're like sending healing energy down to the earth, or you're pulling healing energy up from the earth and like, you know, sending that grounding energy to people. So whatever it is, it's like you're a very grounding force for people. You have a very grounding energy, and a very like you're highly connected with your intuition, and you're able to help pull people out of like crossroads or dark nights of the soul or confusion or mental anguish or whatever it is, and like, yeah, find their like their kind of, yeah, find their like inner eye and ground their energy. Because the sword is like, it's interesting, Ace of Swords, actually the sword is pointing down to the earth. So it's like, it's kind of like you're someone who with the High Priestess and the with the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords, it's like you're someone who can take someone's intuitions and ideas and help them like ground it into the earth. You help them earth something, or you help earth their energy. You're very like connected with the earth. You could be an earth sign. You could have Taurus Virgo, Capricorn in your chart, or be like Sun, Moon, Rising, one of those. But it doesn't have to be. This is just the energy that you're in. But I'm also picking up with the world, you potentially, this work, if it's something you put out there, is going to become global. It has the potential to become global. You have the potential to connect with a lot of people worldwide. Or this could be something you put on the World Wide Web, for example. So it's something that goes on the internet. It's something you're able to do online, you know, and in person as well. I'm kind of getting a vibe that you do a bit of both, maybe. But let's get some other cards. I'm going to pick some daily ritual cards, actually, because I feel like there's something in here for you. So daily ritual card for pile number 2. What is this energy? What original path is pile 2? Creating original path. Woo, there we go. Wow. What did I say, you guys, about the Divine Feminine? I love it when the cards like pan out like this. Yeah, I honor and nurture the Divine Feminine within me. This is absolutely you. I think not only do you do this within you, but you do this for others as well. Like you are like a just natural Gaia energy. You're a natural earth energy. You're a natural goddess. You're naturally connected with the like Divine Feminine energy in the earth at this time. You know, you're a real nurturer. I did pick up that kind of like maternal energy as well. Some of you just could be, you know, really stepping into your power as a nurturer in some way, you know, nurturing a family, nurturing a community, nurturing a group, nurturing a project. You have a lot of creative energy and inspiration, but I feel like for most of you, this is quite a spiritual group, quite a spiritual pile, someone who's, you know, very connected with their intuition, with the Divine Feminine, with the earth, with protecting the earth, all of that. It's like real, yeah, just really goddessy energy. I'm being called to give a shout out to a channel that I feel like someone here who's listening to this may benefit from this channel, or you might already know it, so this might be a confirmation if you've been scrolling and you've seen this channel. But there's a guy actually called Steve Noble, and he's got a lot of meditations and things about all sorts of things, but he has quite a few goddess ones, so that could be significant for some reason. Maybe if you've been seeing them pop up on your feed, or I don't know, like I'm just being called to talk about him for some reason. Maybe some of you are men and you or you identify as a man, and you are a bit confused about how to tap into this Divine Feminine energy, or how you can use it to like create a path for yourself in the world. So it could be, for some reason, I'm just picking up Steve Noble. Have a look at his channel on YouTube, check that out. You know, only if you feel called. You'll know if it resonates when you go on there. So that's just a little something there. So yeah, I'm definitely getting really strong Divine Feminine goddessy vibes for you guys. Pile 2. So if you've come to my channel, you've come to the right place, because I'm all about goddess stuff here. So that kind of made sense. Let's see, I'm going to pull a couple of cards from here. So we have some more guidance, please, Spirit, on what is pile 2's original path. What is pile 2's original path? Oh, actually, okay, I'm going to talk about this in just a second, because I've just heard a bit more clarification about what I was saying about the Steve Noble thing. I believe there is a meditation or guided channeling or something on his channel about stepping into like a priestess activation, is what I'm hearing. I did it years ago, so I can't really remember when it came out, but maybe like 2019 or 2018 or something. So you might have to scroll back, or just look in the search box like Steve Noble priestess activation. But if this is something you're feeling called towards, then that could be like a helpful step, or something that might help you connect with that energy in a more powerful way. So sorry to interrupt the card flow there. So we've got forgiveness here. So yeah, this could be both like in order to step onto this path, there might be someone or something you need to forgive. Or this is kind of like part of the work you'll do is helping people heal their like inner child and find forgiveness for things that have happened to them or something along those lines. Helping people to forgive themselves so that they can move forward and like, you know, ground their ideas and their inspirations into the earth. This person's like, they've got their hands up kind of thing, like receiving energy. In fact, both of these cards, the hands are up, like with a very like sort of open palms, and we've got the two hands here as well. So there's a lot around like you being like a channel of energy, you being a channel to pull energy down onto the earth. Maybe this is like, this could be as well, I'm picking up for some of you, this is sort of forgiving, say, like any systems of control that have existed on the earth. And I'm not going to go into what those are because I don't want to activate that energy right now, but you know what that is. Yeah, like any whether that's, you know, whatever it is, political, ecological, whatever, but like forgiving kind of the I guess any systems that have oppressed the divine feminine in the past. It's like forgiving and clearing that out. So yeah, let's see if there's any other guy. Woo! And stillness. Wow, beautiful card here. I love the like purpley colors and the kind of, we've got more green and purple. This is like you being very, very serene. I feel like you get a lot of downloads maybe, or inspiration, pile number 2, in stillness. So sitting in meditation could be really useful. But I just pick up, generally speaking, you're a very like what's the word, like you're a very elegant, serene energy that is very calming to people. It's like a very, you hold a very still, safe space for people to be able to heal, and the earth to be able to heal as well. It's like you're very gentle. You leave a very gentle footprint on the earth. Oh, wow, what beautiful energy, pile 2. You guys are amazing. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull a couple of these cards now to kind of start finishing off, so we'll get some guidance. More guidance for pile 2 on what original path are they creating. Wow, the more I honor my inner light, the more I brighten the world I choose to shine. Wow, yeah, really beautiful. Yeah, I think you are being called, pile 2. This is definitely a kind of a calling, like, you know, being a light worker, honoring your inner light, shining your light, putting your work out in the world. I did speak of like someone maybe being, you know, having something online, putting your work out online, putting your healing out online, whether that's like Reiki, as I spoke of, or meditations, or tarot even, or, you know, whatever it is. Let's get another message for pile 2. Any more messages? Whoa, came flying out. When I see good in others, I acknowledge it out loud. Yeah, I feel like, again, this comes back to what I was saying in the beginning about you being, this is where you're sort of a light worker, in the sense that like you're not so focused on fighting against things that haven't worked, or that are old systems, or systems of control, or people that have either done you wrong, or done the earth wrong, or done humanity wrong, or whatever it is. It's like you're more about, like, you're just such a beautiful, genuine light worker. It's like you're more about like going your own path, seeing the good in people, places and things, and just acknowledging that when you see it, and not kind of fighting against things that aren't working, but fighting for good things and creating good things is kind of the vibe I'm getting from that. So yeah, really beautiful energy. Let me just see. I think I'm going to finish up with a crystal mandala card. So okay, can we have a crystal mandala card, please, Spirit, for... Ooh. Oh, wow, yeah. Ascended Master, Mother Mary. So we've got a lot of mother energy. I did speak about Gaia being mother energy. So again, it's that nurturing energy that's coming through, and a lot of blue again, which we had with the High Priestess as well. She's got this beautiful blue ground, but yeah, Ascended Master, Mother Mary, and Celestite. So that crystal could be very useful for you. It's a beautiful sort of sparkly bluey white crystal. Unfortunately, I don't have any here, but that crystal could be a useful one to help you connect with this. And the word is unconditional trust. So there's something around trusting I feel like the divine feminine specifically. You know, for those of you that you know, you might have grown up in a potentially patriarchal religious environment, and so there may be a bit of a block towards like trusting and surrendering to the guidance you're being given to step onto this like priestess path, but you're definitely being asked to like just trust unconditionally and shine your light, because you know this is going to lead you towards, this is sort of gonna lead you towards like everything that you want, essentially. Like it's like it's going to lead to a path of ease and serenity with that stillness and this like swan just gliding along the river. It's like there's going to be a lot less struggle if you're trusting the like intuitive nudges, you know, you're getting. And we got that. I spoke a lot about intuition with that Ace of Swords card. So there's definitely a need to trust your intuition and like trust where you're being called to lead, I guess. So I'm going to read actually for this card. So this is 31. Let's see. I'm going to read a little bit of the message. These are really long messages. And this is a gorgeous deck, but yeah, each of the guidance messages are quite long, so I'll just read a bit of it. But we bring you the blessing of unconditional trust. There are times when trust comes easily. Perhaps life is proceeding according to some sort of plan, or you have enough money to feel safe, sufficient prospects on the horizon to feel excited, and enough love in your relationships to feel wanted and valued. Then there are times when it is harder to trust. Perhaps none of the above applies to you. You are lost, feel alone, confused, and without a clear plan or a sign of hope ahead. You may be frightened and just want something to lift you out of the darkness and into the light. Your mind and perhaps your family and friends might tell you that this is a time that is crazy to trust. They may tell you that you should try to fix yourself, get real, give up, and get on with life. Do not listen to doubts or negativity in others or yourself. It is safe to trust. The Divine Mother is watching over you and will guide you safely into the new life awaiting you now. So the Oracle of Unconditional Trust says to you that this is the time when you need to trust the most. This is the time when you need to trust unconditionally. You may feel comfortable doing this, or you may feel deeply challenged by this idea. You may feel there is no particular evidence that you should trust, and yet you'll happily do it anyway. Or maybe you feel that trusting without a sign that things are going to improve is beyond you. Either way, this Oracle brings you a message. The Divine is looking out for you. I'm just going to skip down to here. This reason is that the Divine wants to be more involved in your life. It wants to help you avoid unnecessary pitfalls, pain, and obstacles, and only go through the suffering absolutely essential for your growth. That is so much less than what we fear or expect it to be. It wants you to be filled with divine love and to live a life that is increasingly free, graceful, and blessed. What was I saying about that sort of like serenity and grace of the swan with the stillness card? Oh, I love it. It's all syncing up. So, yeah, sorry, I just interrupted. Graceful and blessed, so you inspire others to trust unconditionally too. How can this happen? Only when you allow the Divine unrestricted access to your life. The only way you can do that is by trusting unconditionally. Imagine abseiling down a cliff. The Divine is spotting you from below and above. It can see where you could stumble and is managing the ropes so you are secure. You still take the journey yourself, but you have some divine eyes, hands, and guidance to help you take the journey in the best way. You might have difficulty trusting in your spotters. You might stop and keep checking for yourself what is happening and yet still not be able to see the entire cliff face clearly. Maybe you get twisted in your ropes or become frozen in fear or ignore the guidance and end up hurting yourself. You may believe that the pain you experienced happened because your spotters weren't trustworthy. Actually, it happened because you weren't trusting. That's okay. It's not fun, but it happens sometimes. The divine is always there waiting for us to trust, with loving guidance and a willingness to help us find an easier way next time. This is how we learn and grow as human beings and become more able to let the universe help us in life. I'm going to leave it there. I feel like that's all the messages they want me to share with you today. So yeah, I hope this I hope this reading resonated for you, pile number 2. I feel like you have a lot, you've got a definite gift to share, and you have a lot of like really beautiful maternal energy. So yeah, really just trusting in that guidance, that intuitive guidance that you're getting, and stepping onto your path. And you'll start to see like the signs and the synchronicities and the confirmations from your spirit team that you are on the right path. So all the best with your journey, my lovely pile 2s. Don't forget to hit the like button if you liked this reading, and leave a comment below. I always reply to my comments, and I really love hearing from you, and it helps me to know which readings are useful for you, and it helps the YouTube algorithm to know which readings to send out, so that it helps my little baby channel to grow. I so appreciate you being here, and every single one of you who have been watching and commenting on my videos. Thank you so much for being here. It's been lovely to read for you today, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye. Hi there, pile number 3. If you chose the beautiful Isis rebirth card, then this will be your reading. So what I'm getting straight off the bat for the Isis energy in terms of the original path that you're creating, this feels like I'm getting like Phoenix vibes. So some of you might be, I'm kind of picking up like Scorpio energy, like that kind of death and rebirth energy, that scorpionic type energy, that ability to like go into the underworld and like glean what you need and be able to like rebirth yourself and like rise like a phoenix from the ashes. That's what I'm seeing. It's like, I feel like your path right now is to very much rebirth yourself, like rise from the ashes of something. So maybe you've been through some kind of trauma or difficulty or pain, or it could even be like past life traumas you've brought into this lifetime. You're very like old soul. You have a lot of very magical energy. You also have a lot of like motherly, maternal energy as well, but you're very, very, very powerful is what I'm getting, pile 3. You have a lot of power and a lot of like self-sovereignty to like kind of create the life that you want, and like be able to create not only a rebirth for yourself, but for others potentially as well. Maybe in whichever facet that you rebirth yourself, whether it's like you're healing your emotional self, or you're you know, you've just been through a difficult breakup and you're healing a broken heart and rebirthing yourself, or you're rebirthing your career. You're like, you know, maybe you went through a business failure and you're bringing your business back to life, or rebirthing it in a, you know, with a different brand or something like that. Whatever facet it is, I feel like it's something that whatever you figure out how to transform that situation for yourself is something that you're going to then be able to help others do. It's like whatever causes you to like rise like a phoenix from the ashes is then like this it's like initiatrix energy that you can then use for other people to do the same. So that's quite like a little bit esoteric, but let's have a look at the I'm gonna use the Everyday Witch Tarot to get some more clarification on that. So what is the original path, please? That pile number. So this could be in regards to like money and career and finances and stability, home life. So there could be some kind of big rebirth around like how you earn, how you work, how you earn your money, your self-worth, your self-value, all of that kind of thing. Let's get some more cards. What original path is pile 3 creating? Yeah, more, wow. Your home. I'm seeing some of you maybe having like a retreat center or something, maybe even in somewhere like Europe. It's like this old house. There's this beautiful like energy. This could be like, you know, a rebirth in terms of your family and like, you know, being able to you know, manifest a kind of 10 of Pentacles situation for yourself. Like you know, rebirthing your life so that you can really call in full abundance. And, you know, this is a very sort of stereotypical Ten of Pentacles. So I just want, you know, for those of you who don't resonate with the whole heteronormative picture that's on here, then just, you know, disregard that part, but just know that Ten of Pentacles is like, 10 is completion. It's the ultimate. It's like the ultimate in your happiness, your final happiness, like what is going to make you you know, feel really fulfilled, what is going to bring you stability, comfort, security, all that kind of thing. It's like there's some kind of rebirth around that, and then maybe some way that you kind of help other people do that. So, you know, I mean, you could be, the original path could be something like, I'm getting like women's wealth kind of thing, or it doesn't have to be woman, but just like some kind of wealth advisor, or like transforming, helping people transform their relationship maybe with money, helping people to rebirth their life so that they go from sort of maybe feeling stuck, like with this Four of Pentacles, he's kind of stuck inside like a prison cell here, to like creating, you know, this like life of their dreams. So maybe some of you are like a life coach or a personal coach. You help people rebirth into something. Let me get a little bit more messages, please, Spirit, on path 3. Whoa, King of Cups. Yeah. So, you know, maybe some of you are helping people find, you know, relationships, or heal relationships or rebirth relationships, connect with, you know, a King of Cups character who, you know, is very like sensitive and emotional, and yeah, I'm also getting with the dolphins is symbolic of family as well. So it's a lot to do with family, healing family. Maybe some of you, I'm picking up, maybe some of you do family constellations, which is like a type of therapy, or maybe by doing that, that'll be something that will help rebirth you. Or that might be a path that like you do it for yourself, and then it's so transformative you end up becoming like a family constellations therapist yourself, or you do some kind of family constellations kind of work. I don't know why I got that, but that just kind of came through. Let's just see if there's anything else. Goddess Isis, any other? 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's interesting. We've got like a lot of kind of heavier energies over this side, and then like these sort of more happier flowing energies over this side. So yeah, maybe like helping people rebirth after burden and difficulty, like struggling, maybe again, it could be financial struggle, like with the Four of Pentacles, that, you know, that can be to do with like holding on to things, holding on to money, conserving, you know, staying put, like making sacrifices, right? So maybe this is like you rebirthing a situation where you've been struggling a lot, you've had a lot of burdens on you, and then that could have been causing a lot of financial strain, and then you're coming into this situation where you're going to find this like ultimate security, this ultimate like stability, ultimate finances, like flow of abundance, flow of like happiness and emotions, and like happy families, and, you know, in whatever way that looks, you know, that could be just, you know, beautiful friendships or happy soul families. It doesn't have to be like a, you know, if some of you are, you might be older or something, or you might be like, I don't want this, like I don't want kids or whatever. So that's fine. You know, it's just take it as you will. It's just whatever the ultimate picture of like your kind of dream life looks like. It's like you're going to help. Not only are you going to rebirth yourself from going through struggle and sacrifice and like difficulty to bring this about in your life, to manifest this, but you're going to help others in some way as well. So maybe some of you do like manifesting work or something like that. Interesting. Yeah. Funny enough, I had this deck out, but I wasn't called to use it for the other piles. But for you guys, this is a feminist oracle. Oh, yeah, okay, interesting. So we've got Alana Glazer and Abby Jacobson. There's nothing better than being abroad at a party, everyone's a friend, be your grossest self, queen. Yeah, I don't actually know the show. I believe, I can't remember the actual TV show that these guys were in. Let me see if I can find it, because it might be a bit of a sign for some of you. So they did a sitcom called Broad City, which apparently originated as a web series, and they met at improv theater and then created like their own critically acclaimed show. And they carved a new, here we go, this is significant. They carved a new path for women in comedy with their outlandish, unabashedly opinionated and female-centric treatment of everyday experiences in the metropolis. These bona fide influences have redefined feminism for a whole generation. Now, don't worry, if you're not feminist or anything, like, just disregard that. I've had a couple of weird comments when I've used these cards before, so like, by using these, I'm not saying like you have to be a feminist or anything, like, you know, just whatever. The point is that like, this is friendship energy, and this is energy about carving your own path in whatever area you are being called to like step into and rebirth. So it could be that this could be done in collaboration with someone. And in fact, with that King of Cups card here, this card can speak about being like, no man is an island, like don't isolate yourself, that you're just stuck on this little throne by yourself on a tiny little teeny man-made island. It's like, you know, you want to be kind of connecting with people, like you want to be working with people. It's like you don't have to carry the burden of everything alone. I think you're part of your rebirth, pile number 3, and part of the original path you're going to carve out is collaboration, right? And working with others, like whether it's other women, whether it's a partner, whether it's a group. But yeah, like opening up to more friendships and like being... with that, like being your grossest self queen, it's kind of like, you know, again, however you identify and whether you're feminist or not feminist, I don't want to, like, don't come for me in the comments about that. Like, just ignore that part, right? And if this puts you off, then like find another channel. I don't care. The point is that like, it's about being comfortable enough in like your true authentic self to like show yourself to your community or people around you and attract other authentic friends. And maybe you're going to carve a new path out for yourself. You're going to really rebirth yourself through these connections, right? Through this, like, and again, this could be taken, you know, you could take this as a sign for those of you, if you're interested in theater or comedy or something along those lines, this could be a big sign that that's going to be something that will bring you a lot of like ultimate abundance, right? The ultimate 10 of Pentacles. It's like the, you know, the end of the line. It's like you couldn't do better for yourself if you tried. Like, that is like the best thing to do. So again, whether you're, however you identify, it doesn't matter about gender identity, it doesn't matter. This is just energy. This is just like tapping into, you know, that energy of collaboration and working with people. Sorry for the little rant there. I just felt I needed to say that because I've had a couple of strange comments when I've used these cards before, and it's not really necessary. Anyway, moving on, let's get some destiny cards for you guys. Yeah, I do feel like your sort of rebirth is going to come about as a result of your friendships, for some of you, for many of you, in fact, or as a result of your connections. It's like there's a strong, like, part of your ability to rise from the ashes is because you've got support around you, or because you're able to connect with sort of like-minded people and get the support that you need in order to like rebirth yourself. So let's have a look at the Sacred Destiny cards. Can we have a card for pile 3? Truth. Whoa. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of like that, be your grossest self, like, you know, speak your truth, put your things that are taboo out there, like, just, you know, be authentic, tell the truth to yourself, tell the truth to others, be truthful to who you really are. It's like you're going through a bit of a rebirth from being like struggling and feeling alone and doing everything on your own and trying to carry the burden of everything by yourself, to like this kind of beautiful fun energy of like, because you've come into your inner truth, it's like you're able to rebirth yourself as this, like, I don't know, like just find a lot more happiness in life, find a lot more contentedness and camaraderie with people is what I'm getting. It's kind of like things are going to lighten up for you, is the vibe I'm getting. Pile number 3. Tell me more about this rebirth. Tell me more about this rebirth, please. Tell me more. Whoop. Delight. Yeah. Delight. That's exactly it. It's like a light energy. Look how cute this little sparrow with the, like, you've got like lots of birds flying, and there's this beautiful garden, and it's just very, like, it's very sweet. It's just delighting and being in nature, and, you know, being yeah, there's a lot of, like, the colors of these cards are very similar, like green and brown and gold and pink. So yeah, there's a lot of, like, beauty to be found in your life. You're going to be able to find a lot more happiness and a lot more beauty and a lot more time to, like, delight in things once you're, like, being true to who you really are, and once you're, like, finding your sort of your soul tribe, or the true sisterhood, you know, or brotherhood, or, you know, whatever. Again, not gender specific, but just, you know, someone who, by being true to yourself and your values and who you really are, you'll attract and magnetize the right people, the right collaborators, the right either person to, like, you know, start this project with, or if it is like a theater project or a creative project in some way, or a life together, you know, creating a partnership or a you know, a family or whatever it might be. It's like there's going to be a definite shift from this, like, doing everything on your own and feeling alone and struggling, to, like, just being, like, as light as a little sparrow and just delighting in life again, and feeling like you have so many opportunities coming to you and going with the flow. So yeah, I really love that pile number 3. Let's have a look at let's get a daily ritual card for you. Okay, daily ritual card for pile 3. Whoa, I came flying out. Presence, beautiful. I'm at peace in the present moment. Yeah. This is very similar to delight. It's like by being present and being, like, connected with yourself and your inner nature, and being, like, maybe out in nature. So going out into nature could be very helpful for you to connect with your truth and your inner self. There is a lot of nature on these cards, in fact. Only that one is inside. Like, that's outside. We've got this, like, tree and kind of expanse of land. You've got, like, a lot of nature with the grapes and everything there. The sea, we've got grass here, we've got hills here. So yeah, getting out into nature helps you, you know, connect with your true inner nature. So finding presence and by connecting with nature, you know, noticing the flowers when you go outside, you know, really just being present in the present moment, whatever you're doing. If you're pouring a cup of coffee in the morning, like, being present with that moment. You know, if you're cooking, being present, whatever it is that you're doing, being really in the present moment will help you to connect with your inner truth and your true self, your authentic self, your, like, inner light, and be able to, like, see she's radiating this around her. That's like her core soul light, and that's going to attract this in. So yeah, wow, really beautiful energy. Let's get one more of these. I'm liking this deck for you guys right now. We have another daily ritual card for, wow, I mean, there's a lot of cards in this deck, but these two are kind of saying kind of the same thing. Mindfulness. Today I do all things with awareness, presence, and intention. So yeah, bringing mindfulness to your daily activities, bringing presence to your daily activities, you know, grounding yourself, being out in nature, whatever it takes to do to, whatever it takes for you to, like, connect with your inner self, you know, creating intentions, maybe creating intentions around the full moon or the new moon could be really useful because she's got this moon behind her. You know, buying some lovely flowers for yourself or something, you know, whatever it might be that helps you stay mindful. If it's being in nature, if it's doing a meditation, if it's doing yoga, if it's connecting with the water. You know, for some of you, you might be more water babies. Some of you might be more like earth babies. Some of you might be more like, you know, city kind of, you know, we had the city with these two, so maybe even just like going for a mindful walk in the city and like looking at the architecture and being in the present moment, or like, you know, doing a theatrical improvisation class if that's something you're into, and like, you know, that helps you get into the present moment because you've got to really think on your feet and be really present and connect with other people, right? And like, you know, see, like, you know, you sort of riff off each other to make jokes or whatever, you know, so you've got to be like really in the present moment to do those kind of activities, like sort of improvisation, or, you know, any kind of physical activity like, you know, yoga or dancing or something like that, you know. Yeah, kind of just, I feel like there's a little bit of a vibe with you, pile 3, of like, needing to let yourself out, let your true self out. I'm getting, I think I've brought this movie up before. It's kind of a random film. It's an old film. Some of you might know it, but it's a film called The Family Stone, and it came out a long time ago, like in the, I don't know, early 90s or late 90s or something. And in it, there's a really good scene with Luke, the actor Luke Wilson, who tells Sarah Jessica Parker's character, like, to loosen up and like fly her freak flag, which I've never forgotten that scene. I love that scene, and I love what he tells her, and I think it's very true. And I think that that is like, this is you being stuck inside this like building of like gray, where you're like, okay, I've got to like keep, this is like kind of your true self's kind of like locked inside this treasure chest, and you're like, I've got to keep myself down, I've got to look like this, I've got to be all gray and professional and whatever, and you're kind of keeping yourself like stuck and down, and your true kind of, your true self is trying to get out. This is like your this cat is like symbolizing like your higher self or your spirit self, which is like, hey, like, we don't have to stay in here, we can fly out the window, we can jump out the window, like, we don't have to stay stuck, we can be our true selves, it's safe, it's okay, like, we can come out of the dark and be, you know, find our truth, and you know, be our silliest, grossest self, you know. And yeah, I just think like, yeah, like delighting in yourself. It's like there's this energy of like needing to take delight in who you really are, in your true self, and not keeping it like squashed and pushed down. And I feel like the energy and the amount of effort it's taking to keep yourself in that cage is exhausting. Like, can you see the face on this woman? She just looks like she's sweating and grunting, and she's climbing up this hill, and she's got like 10 wands that she's carrying, like, and that's like every burden. It's like, oh, you know, my job hates me, and this hates me, and I don't have a partner, and I don't have this, and I don't have any friends, and blah, 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 and it's like a whole lot of weight that you're carrying. And I think you're going through, part of the rebirth that you're going through is like finding your truth and finding your true self, and having the courage to like, it's not even really the courage, it's like the delight, like delighting in yourself, delighting in your true self, part 3, and having like flying your freak flag, like Luke Wilson says. Look up that scene, I'm sure it's probably on YouTube. Fly your freak flag, part 3. That's your rebirth, that's your rebirth homework. I'm so sorry, that's so bossy. This, please know, this is coming through me, not from me. This is a channel message from your guides, and it's really bossy, and I'm sorry about that. I wouldn't normally be so bossy in a reading, but they are coming through really strong to be like, fly your freak flag, be your true self, speak your truth, get your true self out there, and it'll bring you happiness and abundance. Like, you're not going to be hit with sticks. I feel like there's a fear with you, pile 3, that if you show your true self, if you are like this like crazy blah kind of person, like the way you are with your friends, if you put that out in the world, that like people will whack you with sticks. Like, it's like these sticks are representative of fears, I think, that you're carrying, and it's like, let them go, like, be your true self, like, be colorful. Yeah, let yourself out of that cage, pile number 3. That is the rebirth you're going through, and that is the path that you're going to create. I haven't really even talked about that. This has all just been like bossy guidance. I apologize. But the path that you're going to create, pile 3, is like, I can't even speak about that because it's different for all of you, but it's going to be something that's like true to you and who you really are. And whatever it is that you do and whatever this rebirth you go through and this like flying your freak flag thing that you do and this like letting yourself out of the cage and kind of like shining your light and being all bright and happy and shiny is like going to inspire other people. So you're going to kind of lead by example. For some of you, I think you might end up teaching it, or you end up, like I spoke about at the beginning, like helping other people rebirth in that way. But for others of you, it'll just be like you're leading the way in doing that. Like you carve a path out in that field, and so then it creates like a new pathway for other people to follow where there was no opportunity before, is what I'm saying. So, you know, whether that's in the performing arts, like comedy, theater, drama, you know, dancing, some kind of artistic pursuit, or whether it's something spiritual, like a spiritual healing thing or process that you're going to put out there. Whatever it is, it's like you're going to find your inner truth eventually. Like the more you can come into like your inner self, your inner awareness, and be really mindful and do everything with like bring awareness to your thoughts, your negative thoughts, right? And practice with intention, then the more you'll be able to like come out of your shell and like break out of that cage that you've got stuck in. There's a huge rebirth you're going to undergo, but it is going to lead, and on the other side of that is going to lead to this like massive abundance and success and all the things you want and happiness and fulfillment. So love that journey for you, part 3. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry that was such a ranty reading. They're not always like this, I promise. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button or come back and see another reading, because they won't always be so bossy, I promise. I hope it resonated. I hope it provided some reassurance or like inspiration or courage to like kind of find your truth. And don't forget to leave a comment below if you feel comfortable doing that. I love to hear from you. I always reply. And all the best with this journey. And I will see you in the next reading. Thank you so much for being here, pile 3.